Hey folks, Quilly here. Welcome to the Wednesday live stream. And all week this week, we've taken over with Old World. Very much interested in playing this game, really liking it, and actually, let's get the main screen turned on. I spent basically the last 2 days on the official Discord for this, trying to get a lot of questions answered about some of the technical aspects and mechanical aspects and some of the combat formulas and different things like that in this game. So I feel like I've got a lot more of the nitty-gritty understanding. Now that we spent the first couple of streams sort of getting the general flow of the game, now it's about, okay, how do we actually optimize? How do things actually work? How can we figure out little edges to get advantages as we go? Now, I actually considered starting a new session today so that we could make use of this new information in our initial setup. I'm like, no, we'll just continue here. So there's some things I'm like, oh man, I would have done this differently, I would have done that differently, I would have done that differently, but it's not like we're in a bad place or anything like that, so we're gonna see. You're welcome, Wraith. I have to say, it does feel, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like there's a lot of really silly, really obvious and bizarre questions being asked in the stream today. I'm like, okay, I don't know why someone's asking that, but sure, whatever. But there has been a lot of interesting questions, so we'll see. And yeah, and you're talking about in Discord. Yes, I've been bugging the developers a bunch in Discord to just try to clarify a few things. Lots of things about combat, for example, some of the math behind it, and actually some good questions on Twitter, like someone asked about rounding and stuff like that. And we got some clarification on it, so we'll be addressing some of those things as we go on today's run, because I think it's going to be some really useful information for everyone to have. Let me open it with Streamlabs so I can check out the Bread and Circuses contribution. From Second Des. Hey, thank you very much, Des. Sadly, I don't have enough monitor space to watch you right now. What? Here's a contribution and a joke. Why did the crab never share? Because he's shellfish. It's gonna be one of those days. That's for sure. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Old World is best world. It's pretty good. All right, so to recap, we started this game on Monday, so we played for a couple hours. We are year 23, so turn 23 on here. So not that far in, although a lot more happens in a turn of this than in Civ, right? If you're trying to base things, like the devs have said, like once you're on turn 50, you're sort of solidly into the mid game, and you're thinking of Civilization, like Civ 6, for example, on standard speed. I think it's about 500 turns, although rarely you will get to the end of it. I would say in Civ, it feels like mid-game maybe starts around turn 100, and then once you get to turn 350, it feels like you're in the end game. Someone's just going to snap his fingers and you'll be right there. But the thing is, I think a lot more happens per turn in this. Part of it is the order system, because you can move the same unit multiple times in a turn. It means just traveling around happens a lot faster. You do a lot more traveling in a turn than you normally would. Also, I think the fact that when you settle a city, you start with a worker right away. That's a big thing, because in Civ, for example, depending on exactly the situation, you're going to be, 10 turns or something like that before you pop out your first worker, if you build a worker first. And when you improve terrain in Civ with a worker, it doesn't do anything by itself, right? It doesn't do anything until you actually have a civilian, a unit of population in your city actually working that tile. Whereas here, the unit improvements do something passively right away, and then you can still go and make a specialist later on. So I think there's definitely some tempo differences that happen. So I think that the amount of time you will play per game is going to be fairly comparable, which is going to be really interesting to see. So we are currently at 1, 2, 3, 4 cities, which I think... Oh no, it was not an ambition. Our ambition is actually just to control 6 mines. We didn't get the build 4 cities thing. Doesn't matter, I still wanted to build some cities, which is going to be okay, and I'll probably be plopping down a new city over here too. And yeah, I'm very excited. Once we get into a fight, we're going to talk a lot about some combat mechanics. We are currently still at war with the Gauls, and there might still be some barbarians around. There's some barbarians way up north over there. Actually, I don't know if there's any more Gauls around. Their color is greenish. I mean, these are all Danes. That's Babylon, who's another, actual player. More Danes over here. Barbarians and there we go, and some Gauls. And some more Gauls. All right. So we've got them. The Gauls are by the sea. In fact, we could call them... seagulls? Anyway... and yeah, some barbarians over there. So clearing some more of that out would be nice for some XP, as well as, again, we can plop down some more cities, which would be alright. This is not multiplayer, although the game will support multiplayer. Currently, it's still in early access, and the multiplayer is a little It's not quite there right now, but they're hoping to get some stuff out pretty soon. How to feel with the large map? I don't know. So we're playing on medium here, and it still feels like a pretty large amount of space for us to mess around with here. Especially since you can't just spam a million cities. You have to place cities in these sort of, these sort of urban city sites that are ready for you to do something with. As a result, you don't end up like in Civ. This area here would have like 8 cities in it. Which means in Civs the maps aren't quite as big because you have way too many cities. But here you can have bigger maps that are spread out more, especially given the fact that you can move a unit multiple times per round. So it's a very different kind of feel, which is going to be kind of nice. Yeah, so Kitten, one of the things they are going to change is they are going to do it so that units of other empires will have a single color. They will not be colorized by family. So that has already addressed. Apparently, what it was is that up until 2 months ago, the AI empires didn't make use of the family mechanic. And then they decided to change that up and make it so that the AI does do that. But then, so we've got the color thing, and apparently they may have taken a slight step backward in the economic management since doing that. So they're still trying to, since they made that change, they're still tweaking some things to, certain things that are a side effect of that change. So that's actually really interesting to know. Really, really cool little info there. As I say, the devs are super, super active on the Discord, which is just wonderful. Anarath, don't worry, I won't tell your boss. But thank you very much for the Whiskey and Chocolate. Oh, from a fellow Canuck. Excellent. Na. Yes, cool, man, I saw that. Lockpicks. The goal of this man to make such horrible puns. So I think we're done this turn. We had one more turn a couple of extra times, and I think all our units are basically static. We have 4 orders left over, but we don't really have anything we're doing with it. Economically, we don't currently have any forest or stone production, which we're going to have to solve soon. And we'll also talk about some of the city production stuff and some of the mechanics there that we've been poking around with. Carthage has completed the Hanging Gardens. Well, that's very nice of them to build it for me. Oh, with my wife! There's this thing happening with my wife. Oh, our distance seems to grow colder. She has asked for time in your busy schedule to be together to rekindle the passion. How she'll answer? So we can say no, she'd become disappointed with me. Now, I don't know yet what the importance is of maintaining a good relationship with, say, certain members of your family. Presumably if it gets low enough, they might decide to assassinate her or something like that. But I don't know if her becoming disappointed with us would make a big difference to our situation currently. I don't know if it would debuff some of her stats that she's giving to us local or globally, or I know that military units don't fight as well if they belong to a family that's unhappy with you, but I'm wondering about the personal relationship that a general or a governor or something might have. And then we can say it's important. It costs us 5 of our orders, a quarter of our orders for this turn, and a fair amount of money. If we didn't already have an heir, I might be more interested in maintaining the relationship. Because I'm just guessing. I actually don't know, but that might impact certain things. I think we're gonna have to say that we don't quite have enough time over here. And we're just going to save our money and or orders. Hey, Zilzla, thank you very much. New save. I mean, we might start one at some point. We'll see. Didn't you just lose an heir? I know we recently killed off our brother. But we do... Oh, that's my ambassador. Sorry, my heir over here, Princess Camille. Oh, you're right. I think I did lose an heir. Didn't my son go out partying and die or something like that? It could be. Quill saved me. I just gone full Brittany on my beard, which I've had some form for over 20 years, and now I'm scared. Oh my god. Oh, Brittany. I was thinking Brittany, like the country, but no, you mean like Brittany when she shaved her head off. Her hair off. Well, rip your beard. I'm so sorry. Damn. Yeah, bar fight. That was what it was. But we do still have an heir, so you know what? I'm just going to say no time for personal desires. No idea if that's a good thing or not, but that's what we're going to do. Ooh, boastful heir. Okay, this event. So this is going to be a relationship change between us and Carthage. Also, my god, the art in this game continues to deliver. I've never seen this character art yet, and it's insanely good. Ha! Okay, so, Princess Beelzebub. Balzabel? Sounds like one of those demons, right? Sounds like Beelzebub. Makes a shocking boast about how much better of a ruler she would be. Queen Dido the Wise chides her for brashness. Okay, so basically we're getting a choice between sucking up to the current queen of Carthage or the future potential queen of Carthage. Dido's 43, so theoretically she's still going to be around for a little while. Beelzebub's 18. So even after Dido kicks it, Beelzebub may only be around for you know, a couple of decades or something like that. It might be more useful to keep our relationship with Dido going right now. I really want to avoid going to war with any of the big empires right now while I still clear out some Gauls and just kind of expand like that, if we can. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, haha, you stupid millennial. And then she's going to say, dude, millennials are like 35 years old now. Like, don't talk to me like that. Anyway, okay, not 35, actually. Millennials would be what? I mean, certainly in their 20s. I don't know where the generation changes are between the millennials and the Gen Zs. All right, Gen Z, be that way. God. So yeah, I think we're going to do that. Now, it is worth noting that Princess Ballybella over here is going to have a permanent minus 40 with it. It is not going to time out. It's going to be a permanent minus 40. So, but I'm going to deal with it. Done and done. So Ditto over here, Princess Ditto, is very pleased with us at 190. And you know, it is interesting that we could start asking some things. We'd have to save up some civics. But she's happy enough with us that we actually might be able to. I mean, Rome and Carthage, right? They basically neighbors historically, so they must have been best friends. Everybody knows that Rome and Carthage were always the best of besties, so that's lovely. Egypt, Chepsit, what do you want? Trade, food for council, so I would give them 14 food per year. They would give me an additional order per year. It would also cost us money. Okay. Trade food for political favors. Okay, so either way we're trading away food and gold. We can either get extra civic points per year or an extra order per year, or we could say no. That would put us in negative food. I think that's going to have to be a no. Plus the gold thing, I'm not really comfortable right now. It would be nice to build up a relationship. We're only a plus 10 with a Chepsit here. But I think that's it's too rich for our blood. Before I move the scouts, so right here, military units, you can just hit 3 on the keyboard. I want to cycle between the military units. Do we want to send them somewhere? The thing is, we only have 3 military units, which is not much in this game. One of the things a lot of people are discovering, especially people who've come from like Civ 5 or 6 or something like that, you need a lot more military units in this game to keep alive. There's just so many stories of people saying, oh, everything was great, and then I lost. And I think we're very much in the and then I lost range. So I want to do something about the military. I do kind of also want to stay on, hang on a sec. I want to park someone on this site here so that we don't lose it, so it doesn't regrow to a Gaulish city. Or barbarians, whatever was here before. And also that no one else can ninja it and settle here. So I don't think I'm going to rush out right now. So I think what I'm going to do, getting to this in 1 second, I want to take this this warrior here, and I think I'm going to send him back inside one of our pre-existing borders so that he can rest. I might keep the slinger just like hanging out over here. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. So let me go ahead and do this. And then we're going to check the contributions to the Bread and Circuses Fund from Silent Viewer. Silently viewing your videos and streams for so long now. Time to give something back. Thank you for all the amazing work and additionally developing my English. Please keep going. Greets from South Germany. Oh my gosh. Well, Dankeschön. That is incredibly generous. Thank you very much. Very much. You know, everyone's just so nice. And thank you for keeping the channel just going, you guys. Thank you. And Cool Man. Oh, with more Tales from Hearts of Iron 2. You're fighting 137 German units in West Africa right now. Also, I don't always make Skyrim jokes, but when I do, I take an arrow to the knee. With the slinger, I think I'm going to keep him parked out here, because I think... With this slinger, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him a little closer to home, because I don't trust these Babylonians. King Chad here, by the way, there was a live stream, I think yesterday, with Soren and Layla, the president and CEO of the company, lead designer of the company, and they were totally committed. This is Chad now, Nebuchadnezzar. So there it is. Okay, yeah, we're gonna pull back a little over here. I think we are... Oh, no, we're building Settler in Antium. Yeah, see... Guys, we might be starting a new game real soon. Who's excited? Because it could definitely happen. All right, you sit there, although maybe I should bring you home. I guess you can keep scooting a boot for now, because we... Hello, Vandals. We don't need the orders for something else right now. Although if we don't use all our orders, we can, you know, it will convert to money. Explorer over here. Explorer reporting. Sorry, I've been playing some StarCraft 2 again lately, so... You get these different sound bites in your head, you know? Let's come down here, and... Yeah, another pass here. I really love that this map script has a lot of mountain ranges, because mountain ranges are cool and interesting, but I like how it leaves gaps from time to time, which means that you end up this really interesting tactical terrain. Lots of choke points, but not so much that like you have to go and just be stupid about your maneuverings or anything like that. Those damn Babylonians. Nebuchadnezzar, equivalent to 20 standard 750 ml bottles. Right. Because that's one of the bottles assigned. What's the big one? Is the big one a Methuselah, Nebuchadnezzar, Magnum, something? They've all got names. The only reason I know it is because of an episode of Big Fat Quiz of the Year, where they ask people these things. Sooty Rain Cloud. Hey, thank you very much. Who keeps cleaning up the sea floor? The mermaids! Oh, I thought it was going to be a sea sponge joke. You caught me off guard there, Sooty. Laid off scientific scuba divers. I've got more. Just let me know. I'm not talking to you anymore. Oh, Hatshepsut has died. So Queen Nebet the new. I was going to say, hey, isn't her heir supposed to be Queen Nefe? I forgot that Queen Nefe Rure, I think that's her full name. Queen Nefe, escaped for Egypt and ran to us. So her sister, Queen Nebet, is on the throne. Can we press her claims? Rome has built the pyramids. Hey, that's us! I was like, oh, there's another wonder we'll have to take over. Right, I forgot. We actually built a wonder, you guys. I never do that. Someone earlier asked about the points over here. So there's two ways the game can end. One is if someone reaches a total of 31 points, the game will end. You get points from cities, legendary cities, wonders, maybe some other things I don't know. The other thing is if you complete 10 ambitions, you will do that. The pyramids! It is done! The pyramids will stand as a testament to our people for all time, a symbol of our accomplishments today and the glories yet to come. So it's giving us a legitimacy boost. Wow, this is a pretty high number. What are we at? 46. It's not too shabby. And our wife, Antonia Julia, has suffered with unhappiness. Yeah, we keep turning her down. But the nation always came first. Now, as you advance in age, she asks that you put the needs of your marriage first. She wishes for me to retire to my family estate, leaving the nation in the capable hands of my heir, Princess Didn't I just finish saying, Okay, we are crippled, admittedly, but our stats are nuts. Courage is 5, Charisma is 7, and as we learned on Monday, I know I'm in front of these stats over here. As we learned on Monday, the benefit from the various stats are, they're not linear. They're not linear. So that 7 charisma is substantially better than a 6 charisma, which is substantially better than a 5, for example. The wisdom of 5 is insane, too. I really don't want to retire. At all. I mean, no offense to my daughter here, but she doesn't really have much in the way of stats yet. So there are many years left of me, so it's going to disappoint her and my daughter, but I got to say no. I got to say no. There are many years left in me. I mean, I hope so. Gosh. Okay, so we finally have a worker available for us to do some things. Let's talk about something that I hadn't fully kind of internalized yet. The production rate in your city is fuzzier than a game like Civ. Like in Civ, for example, the more hammers you produce, or shields if you're a real old school player, the more hammers you produce, the faster things get built. In Old World, there are 3 different things that are used that affect the speed at which things get produced. There is the growth, the training, and the civics. And what I knew is that if I started working on one of these things in here, you wouldn't get it. So for example, if you're working on anything over here, your growth basically goes to 0. But this growth number is your production value. So I believe Antium over here is our city with the highest training amount, 17.5 per year. And if you look at how quickly it produces warriors and slingers, it's much, much, much faster. Right? 5 years, 6 years, 6 years, 4 years over here. So what we probably want to do, and this is always a good thing in most 4X games, is we're really going to want to specialize cities. So for example, Antium, which is actually the seat of one of our military families, and therefore this family happens to say that each one of the units that gets produced in this city get the Steadfast trait. Steadfast gives a plus 25% bonus to barbarians. And here's something that I only found out because of being on Discord today. Tribes, like, say, the Gauls, count as barbarians. Steadfast all of a sudden went to, all right, it's a nice little bonus to pop out these barbarian camps and stuff like that. That's going to be okay. To, holy shitballs, this is amazing. Right? Because, first of all, the barbarian camps are pretty, there's not that many of them, and they're pretty squishy. Couple of units, that's about it. But the tribes tend to have more units sitting there. They build them a little bit more frequently, and there's more of these tribal things all over the place. But a 25% boost to beating up these minor tribes is insanely good. Anyway, so because Antium has the free built-in Steadfast, and because it already has the highest training stat, I should really focus on Antium here as being a military generating city. So that is quite interesting, because like the warriors, they have a flat cost of 50 iron, and the slingers have a flat cost of, say, 50 food, but in addition to that, they need, you can see there's a training cost in the tooltip here, 60 training. It happens to be the same for both of these, so they will build faster here. So if we get this training amount to 20 or more, then they could pop out a unit every 3 years, for example. And stuff does carry over, so you don't have to stress about decimals too much. But still, look how young Queen Nebbit is! Wow. How old is she? No, not me. She's 10. All right. Just a little kid. So that's quite cool. So we might want to have a growth specialized city and have that one work on settlers and builders and workers and things like that. So something to consider. So as